tracking milestones of an incredible journey spanning 30 years. Rahman Music Sheets. This episode presents Ashutosh Gowariker and A.R. Rahman talking about Jodhaa Akbar and Rahman's inspiration to compose Khwaja Mere Khwaja, a qawwali with a difference.
This is the lyric which I've heard. It's a very traditional lyric, Khwaja Mere Khwaja. And the moment I did that, it suddenly lit up. The whole song lit up.
I needed a much bigger sound. It was a more grandiose film. It was talking about two cultures now. You had the Rajasthan, the Rajput culture and the Mughal culture.
After Lagan and Swades, it was the 16th century love story of Mughal Emperor Akbar and Rajput Princess Jodha. The music of Jodhaa Akbar was released by Sony Music. There have been many films set in the Mughal period. Music remains highlight of all those films and continues to haunt generations even today. Thus, the benchmark was already set. Jodhaa Akbar had to pass the litmus test. Rahman ensured that every note and rhythm adheres to musical detailing, and the soundtrack of Jodhaa Akbar became a musical conquest.
My song situations are already written in the script. So the music that is created by him is an extension of what those scenes are and what that situation is. So as I said, it becomes a to and fro, where I give him the script and he creates from the script. It comes back to me, then I try and visualize it. I already have a visualization ready which I have shared with him, but now after the sound has come in, I try to take it to a different level. With Rahman, you never expect. You somewhere know that he's attempting different things and he's going to ultimately surprise you. And still, when you get surprised, it's a new experience. When you're writing a script, you are only putting in notes about how you want the music to be. What are going to be your, what's going to be your edit design? What's going to be your, background score like? How much background score are you going to use to enhance a moment? These are things that you have in the script. But once you give the brief to the composer, and especially someone like Rahman, then it goes to another level. And once the soundtrack comes from him, the song comes from him, it still goes yet to another level because you start imagining much more. You start creating much more because his sound is pushing you to picturize a situation more than what you had imagined in the script. So there is a kind of a step-by-step rise that happens when you're working with Rahman. And his music, whether it be songs or his background score, they just elevate the film to another level. It's like another movie itself. For Jodhaa Akbar, again, after Swades, we were going on a very different plane where I needed a much bigger sound. It was a more grandiose film. It was talking about two cultures now. You had the Rajasthan, the Rajput culture and the Mughal culture that was going to blend. And I needed a bhajan and a qawwali. I also needed, darbar romance. I mean, it was a very different territory for me. And of course for Rahman. But once again, he came up with a very, very fine blend of combining folk, combining the spiritual track of Khwaja Mere Khwaja.
Khwaja ji, Khwaja ji.
I have heard many stories, AR, that you composed Khwaja Mere Khwaja while sleeping. Is that true?
No, what happened was I was visiting the Ajmer Sharif shrine of Khwaja and it's so strange that I'd been going there for almost 12, 13 years at that point of time, and one of the Khadams said, "You compose so much, why can't you do a song on Khwaja Sahib?" I said, "Okay, you pray for that. It should come in my mind." Because he said that, it was in my mind, and I was working on a tune, and that tune didn't happen. It sounded very wrong, and sounded very simple. And I just did that tune as a template. I was working with a female singer, and it was worrying me. I was traveling the flight, and suddenly I got this, why can't I make that tune into Khwaja Mere Khwaja? Because this is the lyric which I've heard. It's a very traditional lyric, Khwaja Mere Khwaja. And the moment I did that, it suddenly lit up. The whole song lit up. And it also became a very unconventional qawwali, which is not very aggressive but very soft and beautiful. And then one of my spiritual teachers wrote the lyric for that, and we recorded, and it was just lying there when a year later Ashutosh comes in and says that, I'm doing this movie called Jodhaa Akbar, and he tells the story, and then Akbar heard this distant cry and about Moinuddin Chishti, and I said, wait, what did you say? No, I just want a small little 2-liner qawwali. That I said, I have a whole qawwali if you want. And he heard it. I said, don't give this to anyone, I want this. And then he took it with a lot of respect and picturized that stuff.
You just mentioned that you have been visiting Ajmer Sharif for many years and other Sufi shrines too. By visiting these places, do you get some kind of inner peace? And how do you look at spirituality?
Well, I think the change in my life came when I started visiting, Sufi shrines. And I was feeling a kind of connectivity. And then later discovered that, when the Sufis are called the friends of God. And at that particular place, there would be a lot of angels hidden. And whatever you ask God gets answered because of the angel saying Amin and saying so be it. And because of the association of the saint with God. The way I interpret spirituality is, it's like a light which unites all of us, a light which spreads, which reflects love. And by doing that, I'm connecting with all the souls of the world. And so my interpretation towards spirituality is unconditional giving, which is music for me. And that way I'm connecting with everyone. And that's what has happened.
Ya Gharib Nawaz, Ya Gharib Nawaz.
Mohenjo Daro was released in the year 2016. It was a film set in 2016 BC at the height of Indus Valley civilization. After Lagan, Swades and Jodhaa Akbar, Mohenjo Daro was the fourth film where Ashutosh Gowariker and Rahman came together. Its melodies celebrate the grandeur of the Sindhu River, and background score is full of tribal and folk sounds.
It's an incredible soundtrack for the film, which takes the film, uplifts the film to a very, very different level. My movies without his background score would have not had such a big impact the way they have already had.
You have done 4 films with Rahman. Is he a difficult person to work with?
No, I think he's very easy to work with. The only thing that he wants from you is time. The more he spends time with you on the script or on the situations, the more it helps him to create the melody that you want. So if you rush him, then he is unable to give you, he's unable to create or do justice to your movie. I think the good quality is always upfront about it. He always makes clear to any new producer or director that goes to him that they should please allow him time. But I think that wait is required because you are trying to create music. You are trying to create music for posterity. Even filmmakers, when they make movies, why would a filmmaker take a year to make a film? You cannot rush him and tell him do it in 6 months because he can't. Because ultimately you have to create something for posterity, and that needs time. So yes, I feel that yes, we have waited, and it's been a superb wait, because at the end of it, if he's going to give you tracks which are going to enhance your movie, it's wonderful.
तू है मेरा ये संसार सारा, मैं और मेरा प्यार सारा तेरे ही लिए। तू है जग में है रंग जैसे, ऋतु में है तरंग जैसे, तू है तो
गगन गगन लहर लहर बहे ये चांदनी।
ओ धरा पे जागी ज्योति है तेरी।
Your association with Rahman coincided with his global fame. During this phase, is there a word that defines his personality?
Oh, I think it's humility straight away. I don't know how he has that quality, but he has the quality to reset everything to zero, which means when he takes on a new project, he does not come with all the baggage that he has of his previous records and previous achievements. He will apply himself once again to the new project as if he's starting from scratch. I think that's a great quality he has.
Rahman says he ultimately wants to pursue his global music interest. How would you react to this? Is it a risk worth taking?
It will be a loss to the Indian industry, but I think that needs to be done, because he's someone who is filled to the brim with so much more music in him even now, and necessarily film music is not going to help him create that much. So I think if he's going international on a global level, creating new albums, creating different kinds of music, I think he should. I think we should be more than happy that here is someone who is, trying to take Indian music truly global.
ख्वाजा मेरे ख्वाजा, दिल में समा जा, शाहों का शाह तू, अली का दुलारा।
For Rahman, the process of going global had begun while working on Lagan. A call from English composer and impresario of musical theatre, Andrew Lloyd Webber. The project, Bombay Dreams. And there was no looking back. Andrew Lloyd Webber joins us in our next episode. Shekhar Kapoor and A.R. Rahman will also be there. Stay with us.
ख्वाजा मेरे ख्वाजा, मैं समा जा, बेकसूमी तकदीर, तूने है सवारी, तूने है सवारी।
Rahman Music Sheets will continue to track his incredible journey to superstardom, connecting you with his creative partners, also engaging with musicians he inspired. If you have reinterpreted or recreated Rahman's music, share your videos. If selected, you will get featured on Rahman Music Sheets. To submit your videos, log on to our website o2-india.com.